Alright, so I've got a TV here that only has one HDMI input, and I've got a Roku here normally hooked up, but I've also got this Sega Genesis here. So I want to see if I can use this HDMI switcher. Has 3 inputs here. There's a switch box up here, has an output. And I want to see if I can use that to toggle between the Roku and the Sega Genesis. Alright, so there's no power, so hopefully the power from these cables is going to get it done. So first step, I'll just swap the TV cable with this switch box and then plug the Genesis into it, into the switch box. Alright, so the switch box is in the TV. Let's put the Sega Genesis in input 1 and see if it comes back on. It should, right? It's the only input. Alright, so good. We got the Sega Genesis. Now I'm going to plug in the Roku and see if we can switch between the two. Alright, so I'll put the Roku in input 2. I actually got this idea not for switching between these two, but for setting up a 3-camera shoot for live streams, because I saw the solutions online and they were like these $800 boxes of bundled hardware and software, but I just thought, well, why can't I just put the 3 HDMIs into this switch box and just press a button? Anyway, we're going to test it with the Sega Genesis and the Roku, but potentially we could use it for three cameras. Alright. Let's see if the Roku comes up. Well, it's not coming up yet, but maybe... Oh, there it is. Spoke too soon. Where's my remote for the Roku? Okay, here it is. Alright. So, let me just start something playing, just so we can, like, sort of test it out. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Gotta wait for Sling to install. Alright, while Sling's installing, let's go back to the Sega Genesis and just start that playing. So now, I hit the button once. I wonder if it went to the blank, because the third one doesn't have anything in it. I think it should have been... You would think it'd be smart enough to only toggle between the ones with cables in them, but it looks like it went to the third one with no cable. Am I not hitting it enough? Alright, number 1 is lit up. Okay, number 1 is lit up. So that's the Sega Genesis. So alright, whatever. There's Roku. Now, let's hit the button twice to go to input 1. There's the Sega Genesis. Hit the button once to go back to the Roku. So it takes about 5 seconds to switch. Alright, I guess I'll keep this with the TV. It's not going to work as a live streaming switch box, but it will work in this situation.
Right, quick video just to show you what this HDMI 2.1 switch looks like in the box, in the packaging, what you can expect to get. And then after that, I'll write in the written review what it's like to actually use. So this is the actual box that it comes in. It says Fighting for the Dream on the bottom, which... it's a nice message to get, I guess. Let's see what's inside the pack. So straight away you get an HDMI cable. It does say it's 8K. So, I mean, that's absolutely something important there. Obviously, you'll need another 8K cable, 8K capable cable, I should say, to connect to this. Your 3 input sockets just there. a simple switching button just there. I'm going to click it so that hopefully you can hear it. So it's a very clicky button. And there's the outputs there, the HDMI output. Nothing else there. It's a passive switch, so it's not powered by any other external power supply other than what's supplied by the HDMI ports themselves. Right, that is everything. I suppose you might want to know the dimensions. This is around about 8.5 centimeters wide. Width-wise, you're looking at just under 5 centimeters wide, so that might be important to know, because of course you're going to be installing this somewhere, and wherever you install it, you can't have it too far away, because of course you're going to need to be able to access the button there to switch it. And of course, with the ports on either side, it means either you install it kind of somewhere where it's like that, with the button kind of sticking out and your plugs coming off this way and routing back, or you're going to have a plug coming out the front and coming out the back. So it's up to you how you work that, but it's a solid unit. It feels nice. It's not particularly heavy, but it's a metal body there. This feels maybe a little bit, yeah, it feels like a metal body. I'm happy with it. Really happy with how it looks. Let's see what it's like in terms of performance. And I've got it in operation just here, and as you can see, I've got 3 HDMI cables attached. The first one here is the one that's actually selected, but you can see the light coming through here, so you can't really tell which of the first 2 is selected. If I change it to the next one, there, you can see that the second one is now selected, but it also looks like the third one's selected. Press it again, third one is selected, none then additionally lit up because it seems to go this way. And I go back to the first one, and it looks like 1 and 2 are selected. If you go right over the first one, you can see that the light is on there. But then if you're at this kind of angle, it looks like the second one's on. There's no separation there. In addition, as I mentioned earlier, it's a real pain to have 1 plug coming out of the front and 3 plugs coming out of the back, or vice versa, depending on which way around you're having it. Be much nicer if the plugs were all coming out from the same side. Be a lot neater, because you could have this at the front of your, entertainment, wherever you're putting it. It is manual switching only, as in when it detects a new HDMI source, it doesn't automatically switch to that. You have to select it yourself.